What is up guys, it's Mega and today I'm giving you all my Cyber Dragon deck for Link Evolution. Before we start guys, a quick shout out to cyberknight since this is actually his deck profile. However, we've had to change a couple of cards around because of this game's weird ban list. For instance, Summon Sorceress is banned in this game and limited removal is limited to 1 in this game. So please bear that in mind. I would like also to remind you all of, if you are struggling with any cards, I highly recommend checking out the Card Hub since it is the place to go. It will tell you where to find a card, should it be in the game, maybe someone's card pack, challenge mode, campaign, and it will tell you how rare it is as well to see how difficult. All of that will be in the description down below guys. So without further ado, let's go into the video. Okay, so starting us off is one copy of Cyber Eltane. I can't pronounce this card name fully. Basically, you banish all your light machine monsters on your side of the field, from your field and from your grave. You special this card against 1000 attack for each card, that you banished. So it can be a good way to do some massive damage. Also, it has a niche little effect, guys, where when it's summoned, all of the face-up monsters on the field are sent to the grave. So your opponent has a full board. Go. You can do direct attack with this monster as well. This card key, and also it works nice with Cyberload Fusion. The one copy of Cyber is it Parthoros. This card you can special summon it by attributing one machine monster. Majority of them are, so you can do it that way. During your main phase, you get to perform a fusion summon of a machine type monster using monsters on our field. Also, the fusion monster can't be destroyed in battle. That's a nice little pick. You can banish this card from your graveyard, and you can add a Parabond, which Parabond we all know, nice search. You can go for some beastie OTKs since Parabond does double your monster's attack. So that's why this card is not bad. And also machine, you can banish it, and also it can come in very handy with those fusions. 2 copies of Ghost Ogre. Now, the reason why I've chosen this hand trap over some others is because in this one, it's a light attribute, so it kind of works well with the Cyber Soldier. And should your opponent activate a monster effect or a spell or trap that's already on, that's already on the field, you can send this card to the grave and destroy that card. In my mind, it doesn't negate the effect, but it does destroy the card, so it comes in handy as well. Now the main reason we're here, the 3 copies of Cyber Dragon hurts. This card, like the other Cyber Dragon cards, kind of the name becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field or in the grave. So that means it's very easy to get some of the high good fusions in this deck. Should this card go to the grave, you get to search out any Cyber Dragon from your deck or grave to your hand. So you got a Cyber Dragon core in the grave, you can add that back to your hand, search out some spell traps. Or if you just want the original Cyber Dragon from your deck or graveyard, add it back to your hand. Cyber Dragon core and her itself will not count as a Cyber Dragon while in your hand or in the deck, so remember that. It also has another effect where if this guy is special summoned, it comes level 5, comes in handy for those affinity plays, our big boss monster. 3 copies of Cyber Dragon core to search out the spells. We have a lot of cyber spells, and this card can just get straight to them immediately. Decent if you want to search it off Cyber Emergency because you're kind of milling your deck out as well. It's basically the only reason you use it, and you can also banish this card from your grave, special summon a Cyber Dragon monster from your deck. So you can go straight into a Hertz as well if you want to make that level 5, or just get a Cyber Dragon on the field. Core definitely 3 of. You want the 1 copy of Cyber Dragon Veer. When you special summon or normal summon a Cyber Dragon, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is nice, and this card's name will become Cyber Dragon. Also, all Cyber Dragons on your control will gain 500 attack with Veer. That's the only reason to use it. You don't need it for like a lot of the other plays. I mean, the other ones are better than this one. The 1 copy of Honest. Now the reason why I've got Honest, guys, is because limited removal is limited to 1 in this game. I would really love to have 2, so I was struggling to find a 40th card, so I decided I might try Honest because it's a light attribute. It can come in handy if your opponent tries to attack one of your monsters. You can send it to the grave, increase your monster attack. But if you guys feel I should put a different card in, let me know and I'll change it around. And the 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier standard in a Galaxy standard in a Cyber Dragon deck, just because it's so easy to get to infinity. And a quick note, guys, this combined with Hertz equals an instant infinity. Let me explain. When Cyber Soldier, you get to discard 1 light attribute, special summons itself. If it's special summoned, you add another Galaxy Soldier to your hand. Because Hertz has gone to the grave, you activate its effect, you get to add a Cyber Dragon to your hand, or from your graveyard. So you have your instant fodder for your second Galaxy Soldier. You can discard it. Second Galaxy Soldier, instant infinity straight away with just 2 cards. Oh, just so good. 3 copies of the original Cyber Dragon standard. You don't need to know anything about him. Special summon itself from the hand should you have no monsters. You really need to pay attention to that to that effect, because it's easy to forget about it. The 1 copy of the Star Destroying Kaiju. Now the reason why I love this Kaiju is because it's a light machine monster, so it's very easy to get to control this card. So should your opponent have like a beastie card like their own Infinity or Max Dragon or something that's good that you can't get over, tribute it for that Kaiju. Then you might think, oh no, they've got a 3,300 tap point monster. Not a problem, because you can play cards such as Infinity, steal that back. You can easily get over for 3,300 in this deck with such as Power Bond, Limited Removal. That it is so good, and also because it is a light attribute, works good with Galaxy Soldier, and it can also work with the Cyber editing as well. So that's the reason why we're running this Kaiju. And that's it for the monsters, guys. Going for the spells, running 3 copies of Cyber Emergency. Basically, Cyber Dragon Core acts as searching out spells. This card searches out the monsters. So you can add any Cyber Dragon from our deck to our hand, which is just pretty nice. It also has a second effect which you don't use all that often. It's should its effect be negated, you can discard 1 card, you get to add it back to your hand. So it's kind of like for next turn you can do it. Very nice card. 2 copies of Hyper Repair Plan. You don't really need 3. I think 2 is just enough. What this card does is, should you have a Cyber Dragon in your grave, you get to add a Cyber Dragon from your deck to your hand, or a light monster, should I say, from your deck to your hand. Or you can target a light monster in your grave, shuffle it back into the deck. Should you have 3 Cyber Dragons in your grave when you activate this effect, you can play both of them. Keep that in mind. So it's good for searching out a card and getting that good card like your Link monster back, so you can go for more. 2 copies of Cyber Rev System. This card special summon 1 Galaxy. Galaxy. I keep saying Galaxy. So with this card special summon 1 Cyber Dragon from your hand or graveyard back to the field, and it can't be destroyed and destroy a card effect. Sorry. Please bear in mind, if you're using this with Hertz, or Core, they're not classed as Cyber Dragon while in your hand. In the graveyard, they are fine. You use this card on So just please bear that in mind with this card. So the 2 copies of Cyberload Fusion. What this card does is kind of like the opposite version of Overload Fusion. So this card you can banish, so you can return monsters on your field or banished, return them back to the deck, and you can perform a fusion summon, which is just fantastic. You can just get all those monsters back from your banish that you've used for Overload or for your Cyber Monster. You can just replenish them all back, so it's not wasteful. Using the 1 copy of Foolish Burial, you just want to send that Hertz to the grave, instant able to search off that Cyber Dragon to your hand. So this one Foolish Burial instantly equals a Cyber Dragon to your hand. 2 copies of Foolish. So we've got the 2 copies of Instant Fusion. And this card is basically a level 5 monster just in your hand. You pay 1,000 life points. We get special summon a level 5 fusion monster. We have 2 copies of Panzer Dragon, so that means we have 2 level 5 monsters sitting right there, easy for those for those rank 5 players that go into infinity. 1 copy of Limited Removal. I so wish you could have 2 in this game because this card is just so beast in this deck. It's so easy for OTKs. What it does, double a machine monster's attack. Near enough all of ours are machines, so they will double their attack. Especially with the extra deck ones, you're going for those big plays. This card will just double them. 3 copies of machine duplication. Now we have 6 targets this card can work on. So what it does is target 1 machine monster you control with 500 less attack. You get special up to 2 copies of that monster from your deck. So because Hertz and Core will be classed as Cyber Dragon while on the field, this card will special up to 2 Cyber Dragons from your deck. So if you have Hertz in this card, or Core in this card, boom, instant able to go into an Infinity play, or if you have a Power Bond or whatever, you can go straight into a twin. Go into the twin Cyber Dragon, or if you want to, you can go straight into a Link play. So that's just how good machine duplication is. Monster Reborn, just to get back that Cyber Dragon that we want from the grave, or machine, or Cyber Soldier, or Cyberknight Soldier, or whatever card your opponent has. Just to build up for the fusion plays or the Link plays. Overload Fusion, like I said, this kind of the opposite effect of Cyberload Fusion. So this card, you target monsters in your field or graveyard and you banish them. So if you so this card works really well with Cyberload. This card is good to bring out the beastie fusions like the Chimera Text. Very good for those for like this with a Rampage. Yeah, so easy. And the 2 copies of Power Bond. It's just like Zane all over again, boys. This card pretty much works like the same as a Limiter Removal. It's just so good. Like you can fusion summon any of our Cyber Dragon monsters, boom, instant double attack. So twin-headed or Cyber Twin Dragon, that card goes up straight away to 5,600. If you have that Limiter Removal, that's up to near enough 11,000 attack points with just 2 cards, 2 spells in. That's just mind blowing. It also works the same with Rampage. Rampage would be up to 4,200 attack, and that thing can OTK your opponent easy. Power Bond, such a good card. And that's it for the extra deck, guys. Moving on to the extra deck, we're running the 1 copy of Chimera Tech Over Dragon. This card it gains 800 attack for each fusion material that you use. And it can attack monsters your opponent controls up to the amount of fusion. So if you use something stupid like 16 monsters, this card can attack 16 times. Yes, but only on monsters. It can't attack your opponent directly, otherwise this card would be banned easily. But it's mainly good for those like if your opponent has like a big stone of a monster or like has a full board, this card can just get over all of them. That's the main reason why I can use Overtech. Quick note, if you summon this card, you have to send all of the cards you control to the grave. Please bear that in mind. Mega Fleet Dragon. This card you kind of use if your opponent has a monster in their extra monster zone. So if they have a Link, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Pendulum, whatever in that extra monster zone, you use their monster plus your own Cyber Dragon, you get rid of their card, you gain a monster that will gain 2,400 attack. That's not a bad trade-off. Gets rid of their card as well. And if you use, like say, with Power Bond, that card goes straight up to 4,200, so 4,800 attack. Panzer Dragon, level 5 cannon fodder with the instant fusion. You just go straight into Infinity with this card. That's pretty much all it's made for. Rampage, this card and Twin Cyber. Oh my god, they're just broken. This card, you need 2 Cyber Dragons in order to form it. That's so easy. What this card basically does, when it's fusion summoned, you get to target spell traps your opponent controls equal to the number of fusion materials, destroy them. But that's not the main reason why I love this card. So this card, you get to send up to 2 light monsters in your deck, sent to the grave. Again, you want to do the hurt, you get search that Cyber Dragon. That comes in really handy. But this card can attack your opponent equal to the number of monsters you discarded. So you send 2, this card can attack your opponent 3 times. Yes, 3. With that Power Bond, 4,200 attack, can attack 3 times. OTK, so good, so good, and same with Liberty Removal, so easy in this deck. The two copies of Infinity and Nova. The reason why we're not running 3 is just because there's really no point. Because you're using up so much of your extra deck. You'll be using like 6 cards in your extra deck just for 3 Infinity. You are so comfortable with 2. Infinity is basically your big boss monster. Like all these other cards are good. Infinity is still your beast. This deck brings out Infinity just like that. It's just so easy. You have to use it using Nova, bear in mind. But this card gains 200 attack for every overlay unit, and it can target one monster your opponent controls that's in attack. Steal it, very good. You can use it with that Kaiju. It gains 200 extra more attack points, and you can use one overlay unit and negate one card your opponent activates. What can you say? Nova, you're just basically using it for your Infinity, but please bear in mind, because we are running the actual Cyber Dragons, for once in our lives we can actually play its own effect, where you can use one overlay unit, special summon a Cyber Dragon from your grave back to your field. I love this combo, so if you're going to go into your Infinity, steal one of your opponent's cards, go for it. But I like to summon that Cyber Dragon back to the field, because then you can play a Power Bond and you can fusion summon, still leaving that Infinity on the field, and you can steal your opponent's monster, and then you can just OTK with Twin. It's just so easy. Then we run 2 copies of Cyber Dragon Seeger. Now the only reason why I'm running 2 Seeger is because, like you can see here, Summon Sorceress is banned. I can't include it in the deck, otherwise I would. So I had to think of another monster to put in, and I decided, you know what, I'll just put in another Seeger. If you guys know of another card I could add instead, let me know and I'll drop a copy. So this card, you need 2 machine monsters summon it, and one of them has to be a Cyber Dragon. We have loads of monsters that have Cyber Dragon that can become Cyber Dragon, so easy. This card, during any battle phase once per turn, you can target one machine monster you control. It will gain 2100 attack, so that's kind of good for defending and good for attacking. So if you want to get over that big card, you can just give any one of your monsters an extra 2100. Your opponent attacks you, just give them an extra 2100. Just like that. That's why I love this card so much. Cyber Eternity Dragon. Now this card is kind of more of a defensive play. It's still good, but people think of it like, people don't tend to run it because of how defensive it is. So it's a Cyber Dragon plus 2 machine monsters. So you can use a lot of our machines. They easily work. What it does is, if you have a fusion machine in your grave, Panther Dragon still classes this if you just used it for the Infinity play. This card cannot be targeted by card effects and can't be destroyed by card effects. Very good. And if this fusion card is sent to the grave, you get to special summon a Cyber Dragon from a hand, deck or grave. So it's good for the searching as well. That's why I love it. You can also banish this card from your grave, and fusion monsters you control cannot be targeted. And also they can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, so you can use that for the OTK, especially with this card, Cyber Twin Dragon. Such a beast. Only the 1 copy. Basically, this guy can attack twice during each battle phase. Like I say, play Power Bomb, this guy's straight up to 5600. You're playing Liberty Move on top of that, double 5600, which is 11200 attack. And it can attack twice. It's just broken, just so broken. And 2 Cyber Dragons, that is so easy to get. And we're running, of course, the 1 copy of Cyber End Dragon. Now this is more if your opponent is playing defensive and you want to play aggressive. So this card can deal piercing damage, has 4000 attack, and 3 Cyber Dragons is easy to get at. So because, again, Power Bomb, Limit Move, we can put this card up to 8000, and your opponent is sitting with a defensive position monster, piercing damage, get it out. It's basically, it's just like Zane, boys. We can roleplay with Zane so hard with this deck. And that is it. So, like I say, guys, this deck, it was originally cyberknight. Go check him out. You will not be disappointed, so shout out to him. The only thing is, guys, we had to change around a few cards because obviously with this stupid game's ban list. But if you feel like this deck deserves it, hit that like down below. It really helps out the deck. And again, like I always say, comment on whichever deck you would like to see next. I will try my best to make it as best I can do it. And with that, guys, I'll see you again in the next video. Take care and stay tuned with some deck replays. Goodbye.